They say there are years missing from the life of Jesus, years the Bible never speaks about. From the age of 12, when young Jesus amazed the scholars in the temple, until the age of 30, when he reappears to be baptized by John, history is silent. 18 years, completely unrecorded. Where did he go? What was he doing? Did the Son of God simply disappear into obscurity, or did he walk the ancient paths of wisdom somewhere far beyond Judea? Many sacred whispers point to one mysterious answer: India. The land of the rishis, the yogis, and the timeless search for God. Could it be that Jesus, the Christ of the West, journeyed to the East in search of deeper truth? Could he have studied with the masters of meditation, learning the same eternal laws that govern all spiritual life? Paramahansa Yogananda, the great Indian yogi who revealed the unity of all religions, spoke openly about this hidden chapter of Jesus' life. He said that Jesus and the ancient yogis of India were connected by the same divine consciousness, the same infinite spirit flowing through different forms. Yogananda taught that Christ was not only a person but a state of awakening, the realization of oneness with God that every soul can achieve. So what really happened during those missing years? What did Jesus learn in India? And how does this secret bridge between East and West reveal the true purpose of every human life? Stay with me, dear seeker, as we uncover the hidden journey of Christ, and discover why Yogananda's answer might transform the way you see both Jesus and yourself forever. For centuries, seekers and scholars have wondered about the missing years of Jesus, those 18 silent years that the Bible leaves unexplained. After the story of 12-year-old Jesus astonishing the rabbis in the temple, the scriptures grow quiet. Suddenly, we see him again as a grown man of 30, standing by the river Jordan, ready to begin his divine mission. But where was he during all that time? What shaped the gentle yet powerful teacher who would transform the world? Yogananda explained that these were not lost years, but sacred years, a time of deep preparation and spiritual awakening. He said that Jesus, like all great masters, followed the law of divine seeking. The soul that would one day carry Christ consciousness did not remain idle. It sought the company of saints and sages, the wisdom of the East, and the silent communion of meditation. Across ancient India and Tibet, there are age-old legends about a radiant young seeker named Issa. These records, kept in remote monasteries, describe how this blessed soul came from the West to learn the eternal truth of life. He studied the Vedas, practiced meditation, and spoke about love, forgiveness, and the unity of all beings. The resemblance to the teachings of Jesus is striking, too deep to be ignored. Yogananda often said that Jesus came to India to drink from the same spiritual fountain that nourished all prophets and rishis, the inner science of realizing God. These were the formative years when his divine mission was being prepared, not through worldly study, but through the highest yoga, union with the infinite spirit. And when he returned to the West, he carried that eternal light with him, the light of India, the light of truth, shining as Christ. In the late 19th century, a remarkable discovery reignited this ancient mystery. A Russian explorer named Nicholas Notovich traveled through the Himalayas and reached the serene Hemis monastery in Ladakh. While recovering from an injury there, he was shown old Pali manuscripts that told the story of a saintly young man from the West, known as Issa. The monks described how this divine soul had come to India many centuries ago to learn from the great masters of truth. The manuscripts said that Issa studied with Brahmin priests in India, learning the sacred language of the Vedas and the deep laws of karma and dharma. He spent time among humble villagers, preaching kindness, compassion, and equality. He even challenged the rigid caste system, teaching that all souls are children of the same creator. Later, he journeyed into the Himalayas and Tibet, where he learned the art of deep meditation and divine communion. When he returned to the West, he carried within him the radiant light of divine realization, the same light that we recognize in the teachings of Jesus. Yogananda never claimed these texts were perfect historical proof, but he affirmed that their essence was true. He said that the soul of Jesus was a fully awakened being, an avatar sent by God to uplift humanity, and that India was the natural place for such a divine soul to complete his training. For India has always been the cradle of inner realization, the land where countless seekers have walked the path from knowledge to wisdom, from devotion to divine union. So, according to Yogananda, the young Jesus, the soul known as Issa, found in India not a new religion, but the eternal science of spirit, the same universal truth that flows through all faiths and leads every heart back to God. Paramahansa Yogananda often said that Jesus was not the only Christ, but one who had completely manifested the Christ consciousness within himself. He explained that the word Christ does not refer to a person, but to a divine state of awareness, the realization of one's oneness with the infinite spirit. Just as the sunlight fills the whole sky, Christ consciousness fills the soul that has dissolved all sense of separation from God. In the East, this same divine awareness is known as Krishna consciousness or Kutastha Chaitanya, the ever-present, ever-blissful intelligence of spirit that exists in every being. Yogananda beautifully described Jesus as a soul who had expanded his consciousness beyond the limits of the body and mind, until he could truthfully say, "I and my Father are one." This is why Yogananda often told his disciples, "You must not worship Jesus as distant or different from yourself. You must awaken the same Christ consciousness within your own heart." He said that Jesus came to show us what we truly are, divine beings, temporarily dreaming that we are human. When he healed the sick, forgave the sinful, or blessed the poor, he was not using magic. He was expressing the natural power of a consciousness united with God. Yogananda's mission was to reveal that the teachings of Jesus and the teachings of the yogis are not two separate paths, but two expressions of the same truth. The Christ of Galilee and the Krishna of India are one in spirit. Their message is simple and eternal: to love God with all your heart, to love all beings as yourself, and to realize that the kingdom of heaven is within you, here, now, and always. Yogananda often said that Jesus was not only a teacher of love, he was also a master of yoga, the divine science of union between the soul and God. He explained that the original teachings of Jesus were deeply spiritual, inward, and meditative, not confined to rituals or outer belief, but rooted in direct experience of the divine. He said that the word yoga means union. It is the sacred process through which the restless mind and wandering senses are brought into stillness, allowing the soul to feel its oneness with the infinite. And this, Yogananda taught, was exactly what Jesus practiced and lived. When Jesus spent 40 days in the wilderness in silence and fasting, he was not escaping the world, he was entering the vast stillness where God speaks through intuition and inner light. When he said, "The Father and I are one," he was describing the highest state of yogic realization, the complete merging of the individual self with the cosmic spirit. Yogananda revealed that Jesus' original disciples also understood this inner path. They practiced prayer and meditation as sacred techniques to commune with the divine presence within. Over time, however, much of this inner science was lost or hidden beneath dogma and interpretation. Yogananda called his own work the Second Coming of Christ, not the physical return of Jesus, but the reawakening of Christ consciousness in the hearts of all sincere seekers. Through meditation, breath control, and devotion, anyone can experience what Jesus felt: divine peace, boundless love, and unity with God. Yogananda said, "Meditation is the way to know the true Christ, not in a church, not in a temple, but in the silent altar of your own soul." So, when we meditate deeply, when we love selflessly, when we forgive and serve, we begin to live the same yoga that Jesus lived, the eternal yoga of Christ. Yogananda often spoke about a sacred truth known only to the deepest mystics, that all great masters, no matter what religion or culture they appear in, are united in one divine consciousness. He revealed that Jesus Christ and the immortal Himalayan master, Mahavatar Babaji, are in constant communion with each other. Though they appeared in different lands and times, their mission is one: to uplift humanity and awaken the sleeping divinity within every soul. In his writings, Yogananda shared a message that Babaji himself had revealed to him: the work of these two souls, Jesus and I, is one. Together, we send forth vibrations of redemption and spiritual awakening to guide all who seek God. These were not poetic words, but a direct glimpse into the living unity that binds all avatars. The light that shone through Jesus in the West and the radiance that glows through Babaji in the East are two beams of the same infinite sun. This is why Yogananda said that the world's religions are like different doors leading to the same temple. The outer forms may differ, prayers in a church, chants in a temple, or meditation in silence, but the essence behind them is identical: communion with the Divine Spirit. Whether you say Aum or Amen, whether you bow before Krishna or Christ, the vibration that responds is the same: the eternal presence of God. To the awakened eye, there is no separation between Jesus, Krishna, Buddha, or Babaji. They are all perfect reflections of one cosmic consciousness, appearing again and again to remind humanity of its divine origin. Each one calls to us, saying, "You too are children of the infinite. Awaken, and remember who you are." When you meditate, when you open your heart to love and truth, you join that great family of light, the lineage of awakened souls working silently for the harmony of the world. In that sacred stillness, you may even feel their presence, guiding, blessing, and lifting you toward your own divine realization. So, what does all of this truly mean for you, dear seeker? The story of Jesus in India is not just a fascinating mystery of history, it is a mirror reflecting the journey of your own soul. Whether or not you ever travel across the world, the real pilgrimage is within you. It is the sacred journey from ignorance to wisdom, from restlessness to peace, from the human to the divine. Yogananda taught that every soul has within it the same seed of Christ consciousness that bloomed fully in Jesus. The difference is only one of realization. Through meditation, prayer, selfless love, and the guidance of divine truth, that same light can awaken within you. When you calm your mind and turn your attention inward, you begin to feel that still, loving presence, the same presence that guided Jesus in India and every saint through the ages. The hidden message behind this great mystery is not about religion, it's about realization. It's about seeing that truth is universal, that God speaks every language, and that love is the common thread in every faith. As Yogananda said, the true second coming of Christ will be when you resurrect the Christ consciousness within your own self. So, as you listen to these words, close your eyes for a moment. Feel the breath moving gently in and out. Feel the quiet pulse of life in your heart. This is the same divine energy that sustained Jesus, that guided the yogis, that watches over you even now. The same spirit that moved through the sands of Judea and the mountains of the Himalayas lives within you, waiting to be felt, known, and realized. When you love without condition, when you forgive freely, when you meditate and feel peace rising like dawn within you, you are living the true yoga of Christ. The journey of Jesus to India was not only to unite East and West, but to remind every soul on earth that God is not far away. God is within. And that, dear one, is the greatest truth of all. As we come to the end of this journey, take a moment to simply be still. Close your eyes, breathe slowly, and feel the peace that is already within you. The story of Jesus and his time in India is not only about history, it is a living reminder that truth has no boundaries. The same divine light that shone in Christ also shines in the rishis of India, and that same light lives quietly within your own heart. You are not separate from the source you seek. You are a spark of that eternal consciousness, waiting to be awakened. If these words touched something deep within you, let that feeling become a prayer, a silent offering of love and awareness. You can share that energy with others simply by living kindly, forgiving often, and remembering God in all that you do. And if this message resonated with you, I invite you to write a comment below, share what you felt, or simply type Jai Gurudev as a way of sending light to everyone watching this video. Your words might be the blessing someone else needs today. I would also love to hear from you. What topic or spiritual question would you like the next video to explore? Perhaps a deeper dive into Babaji's eternal presence, or how to awaken the divine energy through meditation. Write your suggestion below and let's walk this path of discovery together. Remember, the real pilgrimage is not through lands, but through consciousness. Seek within, and you will find the Christ and the Krishna living as one light. Until we meet again, stay in peace, stay in truth, and keep your heart open to the divine. Jai Guru Dev.